Williams Foods, more than just a grocery store. Williams Foods has been serving communities since 1971. That is 45 years strong and counting. We are successful because we offer great service, great prices, fresh produce, and the best meat money can buy. Williams Foods is not just in your communities, we are a part of your community. We donate 1% back to any nonprofit organization, and we donate up to 6 cents per labels to anyone fundraising. Williams Foods, where we still sack and carry out your groceries for you because you deserve it.
Over the years, a lot has changed. Thankfully, in Tuttle, a few things have stayed the same. The people here are still the best, the school's teams are always competitive, and Williams Plumbing Service is still serving the community. For all your plumbing needs, call Williams Plumbing Service. One family serving Tuttle since 1949. Thank you, Tuttle, and go Tigers.
There's a few things we live by in Oklahoma: honesty, integrity, and hard work. At Triton Foundation Repair, if you don't need foundation repair work, we will be the company that tells you, because when you do need it, we want to be the company that doesn't. Honesty, integrity, and hard work. Triton Foundation Repair.
Stay ahead of the curve and keep your small engines running right this off-season. At Simmer Sales and Service, we have you covered. Bring your equipment over for a full winter tune-up or repair. Our full-service shop is ready for you just 2 miles east of Tuttle. We're locally and family-owned. You'll leave saying, Simmer, good people.
Does shelter insurance cover shiny red cars?
Yeah.
What about purple vans?
Also, yes.
Monster trucks?
What's going on, son?
From shiny red cars to purple minivans, you can count on Shelter's local agents to help you protect what matters most.
When it comes to comfort in Tuttle, local matters.
And nobody keeps our hometown in the game like Koch's Mechanical Heat and Air.
Owned and operated right here in Tuttle by Bo Kokenauer and his family, Koch's Mechanical is your MVP for heating and cooling.
Bo knows Oklahoma weather changes faster than a fourth quarter comeback.
And he'll keep you comfortable year-round, no matter the score.
Proud to be the official Heat and Air sponsor of Tiger TV.
Koch's Mechanical Heat and Air,
where local matters and your comfort wins.
Whether you just came from a workout or you're just out and about, our Social Sips have everything you need to feel good to feel good. Here at Social, we have a variety of teas, shakes, social bowls, or you can even try one of our cold brew coffees, made with you in mind. At Mustang Social and Hometown Social, it's always tea time.
All right. Welcome to Tiger TV. It's a Tuttle Coaches Show. And this Sunday afternoon, beautiful day. I'm Kevin Rogers, host of the show for you. We're coming to you live right now from the field house. Hope you can see behind us there a little bit of the stadium. Coach Ballard's here with me today, and the voice of the Tigers, Eli Pagel. And we're going to talk a little Tuttle football today. We had a great game this past weekend. We're 2-0 and off to a good start, so it's kind of cool. But a little bit about the Newcastle rivalry. It's been going on. So we got a little info on the history of that. I mean, since 2000, Tuttle leads the series 25-2, and then Tuttle's won 12 straight matchups dating back 10 years, including playoff games. And Newcastle's last win over Tuttle was in 2014. That means you've never lost to Newcastle. Is that correct?
No. My first game at Tuttle, I lost to Blanchard. We lost to Blanchard. Second game, we lost to Newcastle.
And that was it. Okay. So this right. What year was your first year?
2014.
So that was it right there. Mm-hmm. Okay. So the only one time. And then before that loss, Tuttle had beaten Newcastle 10 years straight.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of been that way over the course of take that away. It's kind of been that way over the course of my life here in Newcastle, going on little streaks. I mean, there's been a time or two where they've gone on 4, 5, 6 years runs beating us, and then it'd flip and go the other direction. But of late, we've had a huge advantage in this. So
yeah, early 90s was Newcastle had quite a bit of success during that time period. When I was here in the early 2000s, we were on another run of 10 plus years, I think, without a loss. And then had a hiccup, I think, in 2003, the year after I graduated, and then 14 again. So it's been a good run. It's been a cool thing when they were in district or in our class that we would play them in the playoffs. For the folks at home doing math, we're in 2025, and now we're 26-2. They're thinking that math doesn't add up. We played them in the playoffs a couple of times, which is it's always fun to beat them in the playoffs and really send them home at that point. So, but Friday night was another typical Tuttle Newcastle rivalry. Richardson Family Stadium atmosphere, as we're getting accustomed to, was really, really good here in the stadium. So it was a fun one, and went the Tigers' way.
Yeah, it absolutely did, Coach. I mean, your initial thoughts on just the win in general right now?
Loved it. Thought our kids came out and did what they were supposed to do. We kept it about football, and I know everybody gets fired up to talk about the rivalry and the records and stuff, but we still got to put 4 good quarters together, and it's not a given. Those guys have been really good of late, and I think they've got consistently better here in the last 4 or 5 years. And there was a couple of games. I think that was 21, maybe 21. Yep. They're going down to kick a field goal to win it, maybe. Yeah. And we get a fumble, and Major Sharp takes it back about 90 yards for a touchdown. And there's another one when Eli was playing, I think it was 2001 or was it 97?
I wouldn't 97 bit. Yeah.
You know the one I'm talking about? Where
it was I think it was like a pile, and it was stripped out of the pile. Yeah. That one, and then returned for a touchdown. That was before me.
Yeah.
That was late
97, I think.
Yes, which was mid 90s is when Newcastle had their success, and so that was coming off of that, and Tuttle was fighting to get a win, and there was basically a scrum, and I forget who it was, but kind of a Tuttle player, just one of those pops out of the pile and starts running the other direction. And at first you're thinking, what in the world is this guy doing? Then you realize, he's got the football. And it took a second for everybody on the field and off the field to realize that. And that was a game winner.
Yeah, it's a big one. There's been some close ones. Yeah. We won 14-13 several years ago. I mean, they've been highly competitive games. Seems we've kind of had their number here of late, and historically speaking, but it is what it is. Those kids probably don't remember those games. Our kids probably don't remember those games, right. But we like to talk about them. But I was real proud of our kids for doing what they had to do. There weren't any distractions this week. Kids stayed focused. We had a good week of practice. The weather was awesome. Got a little break from the heat. Everything was cool. So I was proud of them. They did what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, they did. They played well. I thought it was a really good showing this week all the way around. We're going to look at some replays here in a few minutes and just kind of talk about some things. And we're going to start, first of all, with some defensive replays like we did last year. We might kind of start breaking this down by segment. We'll look at some defense. I got a couple of special teams things we're going to look at, talk a little bit, because special teams I thought played really well, and I want to kind of show a little bit about that. And then we'll talk about offense. And then later on in the show, we're going to talk about Cruz Campbell and look at some plays centered around him. So let's start talking about defense right now. Coach, what'd you feel defensively about the night? I mean, statistically, did you bring the stats with you, Eli?
I don't have the stats, but Newcastle had, I think, 155 yards of offense on the night. And so Tuttle had a little over 400 yards of offense on the evening. And so from a defensive perspective, in a game like that, I would think if you can hold that team under 200 yards, you're probably close to where you want to be.
Absolutely. And, coming into the game, they had 2 running backs that I thought were very explosive. Both of them could play. And they had a 6'6" kid out at wide receiver that's a matchup nightmare. And then number 8, I thought was their best football player. I mean, he's all over the place, returned 2 kicks for touchdowns a week before. So you have to pay attention to a lot of people. I thought we did a very good job of executing the plan. And I've said it for 2 weeks now. I think we tackled well in space, and that's not an easy thing to do. Our DBs are willing to tackle, and that makes a huge difference.
Yeah, and you'll see that in these replays. Go ahead and start the run of replays there, and we'll just kind of look down. These are all defense.
Hotworks Mustang, you see number 8 in motion there, and they're going to hand off, and there's a linebacker diving through. That's Slate Snyder, I believe, making
Slate
that
had a
play.
really nice game. And then, Turner Lemming right there, who his job a lot of times is to leverage the ball and get it back to all the help. And And then every once in a while, they'll bounce to him, and he gets to make the play. And
Yeah, like
he's
right there.
very, very trustworthy and doing an excellent job for a sophomore. Right there, everybody just not being stingy. Everybody's got their head in the right gap, and they're filling to the ball. And when they get there, they're not in a good mood. So just constant pursuit and lots and lots of effort, you guys. That's what makes a defense roll. Right here, they get a big completion. The corner and the safety both roll down and make a play in space. Our D linemen, I love their tempo, love the way they're playing. Our linebackers are getting better each game. You know, we've had to replace a lot of linebackers here from last year. We got 2 of them playing college football from last year. So a lot of things to replace, a lot of new faces, a lot of guys learning what to do and how to do it. And right there's a big tackle.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you miss that tackle and that ball gets back to the middle of the field, it's difficult. So these guys flying around doing what they have to do and trying to knock the engine out of the ball carrier. And right there, just a late throw across the middle gets tipped, which happens a lot. And TK's right there to make the play. And then we got guys blocking for him. So they're having fun on defense, being aggressive and running around like their hair's on fire, but doing it in a controllable manner and from the spot they were supposed to do it from. So
yeah, no herring there making that tackle, but that was something that was obvious Friday night when we were watching. Is everybody was playing their gap well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of those highlights was I believe Brody Fisher is his name.
Yes.
You know, filling a gap, and he was just flying through the gap, but there was the gap beside him on either side was full too. So there's nowhere for the defender to go. You talked about the defensive backs and linebackers tackling in space. And as you watch those highlights, you see they're making catches with quite a bit of green around them. There's some space there, but that space closed up so quick Friday night that they just didn't get the yards after catch. They've got playmakers that they're comfortable putting the ball in their hands in space and letting them make a play. And that just didn't happen Friday night.
No, you're right. And offenses these days are geared to stress you side to side, you know, forward, back, everywhere. I mean, they're going to stress the entire field. And a lot of people have really nice game plans of getting their athletes the football in space. And you've got to be able to match those things and make the plays when you get the chance, because there are a lot of one-on-one plays that have to be made out there in space.
Yeah. And I think one of the things, too, is a lot of times you look at that one-on-one tackle out there, but you see in those highlights even that first guy may not complete the tackle, but he gets enough of him or slows him down or changes his direction enough that, and the rest of the guys are flowing to the football in a passionate enough manner that even if the first guy doesn't necessarily complete the tackle, there's someone there pretty quick to come help.
We hope so. And you know, if you came to our practice, you'd hear us yelling a lot about leverage with all those guys in space, understanding where your help's at. You know, if I'm supposed to leverage the football back to the middle of the field, I better do it. Or, you know, if I'm a fit guy here, I better be here because my other help's coming from the other direction. There's a lot more to it than people just running around crazy.
Yeah, organized chaos.
There is a method behind it and a process and the way we like to do things, and they do it well.
Yeah, no, that's showing up, and I think you're seeing the fruits of that. Newcastle comes out the other night, they win the toss, they want the ball, which tells you right there, hey, they want to make a statement on offense. They like what they've got on offense. Come out 3 and out pretty quickly, pretty efficiently, and really just set the tone, I thought, for the evening.
Exactly right. I mean, offense is beautiful, and you're going to win a lot of ball games if you're really good on offense. Defense wins championships.
Yeah.
I mean, you're good on defense and have an offense to go with that. You got a chance to be really good. But through the history of football, I mean, good defenses win. I mean,
yeah, no,
it is.
It's tough to beat somebody if you don't score. You don't score very much, and so that's, I think, what we're seeing with this defense is just that stinginess that they're and the ability for the guys up front. Had some changes up front this week, too, on that defensive line. Kel Harriman jumps to the other side of the ball this week. Thought he did a great job over there. We'll talk about it in the offensive segment. But then those guys flowing in. You got Slate Snyder. You've got Noah Herring. You've got Turner Lemming, who we've mentioned. Then you've got some of those other guys on the inside, those other linebackers. I mean, you could just go off. Sean Rounsaville had another great night on the defensive side of the ball. And you've got all these guys contributing. You don't have one guy that, you know, that defense is sort of like, man, I hope he's somewhere close.
Sure.
And so that's a huge victory in my opinion.
I think we played six different linebackers the other night. Just You got to have that. I mean, if we're lucky and fortunate enough to have a long season, it's going to take every one of us. I mean, if you can play 5 or 6 guys early in the season and get an understanding of what they're good at, what they're not good at, and I mean, it gives us a better idea where we can fit kids in, and we want to play as many of them as we can. I promise you, it's. I'd like to get them all out there.
Yeah,
but you know, we're only going to be as good as our depth allows us to be. Through the course of a season, things will happen where, hey, somebody might go down, somebody else has to pick up the slack. I mean, that's going to happen. That's just the game. I mean,
absolutely.
You better get ready for it. So, trying to develop depth, trying to develop that second tier kid that can roll in and play with the ones, understands what's going on. He's not just a good athlete. He knows what to do when he gets there. That's the challenge. And some of these guys that have been freshmen are now sophomores and working their way in, you could see them every week. They get just a little better. So developing depth is crucial for us week in, week out.
Yeah. From a strategic standpoint, one thing the other night in the game, you saw him put Caden Longman, number 8, in motion and a lot of motion. He'd come out, he'd go in, he'd bubble around. From a defensive perspective, what's sort of for the fans at home, what's sort of the purpose of that? What are they trying to do there, and how does that stress the defense?
I think there's multiple reasons that people would do it. Sometimes people do it to see if you're in man coverage. If you go chasing him, the quarterback understands it's man coverage and they know what they want to do with the ball. Other times it's to see what kind of rotation your defense might have. You call the strength, and that's the people you have there. And then with the motion, it changes the strength. So sometimes you have to roll your whole defense or your calls to where it goes. So it puts you in limbo as a defense. Say we had a strong side blitz or something coming. They send him in motion. Now that's not the strong side anymore. Do you want to stay with it? Do you want to change it to the other side? So it puts you in limbo decision-making wise sometimes, where some people on a defense are going to have to play to their strength. Well, we're really good at bringing pressure from the strong side, but not so much from the weak side. Well, they just changed us. So it's not just line up and do whatever you want to do. I mean, there's a process to everything, and those guys are good too. They practice all week long too. I mean, they had a plan and what they wanted to do, and we have to play to what we feel our strengths are. But strategically or schematically speaking, it changes the strength. And if we're trying to man up on number 8, or we're trying to roll our coverage to him, we get 2 on him here and there, then they flip him. Then the whole defense has to communicate to change that. That's a hard thing to do. Yeah. So for them, it's a safeguard. They keep him from getting doubled a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great question. That's a really good question right there. I appreciate it.
And that's some of, for the folks at home, that's some of the strategy. And the play clock's only 25 seconds.
Yeah.
So all of what we just talked through is happening a lot of times in the last 12 seconds of that play clock. So you think about it. You've got a guy running around the field. You're strategically having to think about the moves and the pieces that you have to move when that's happening. And so credit to the kids. Again, that goes into that preparation. And you can see when a group is not stressed by that the preparation was done properly.
Yeah.
And that's credit to the coaches getting them ready, but credit to the kids of paying attention in meetings and learning what they're supposed to do there.
Okay. Well, this is a good time to take a break.
Okay.
So let's take a quick break because we're going to talk a little bit about that. You're talking about, the trying to stress the defense. I mean, it's like, well, the quarterback has to read all that. We're going to talk a little bit about our quarterback and look at some stuff, maybe give you guys an opportunity to show and talk about maybe how he may have made some adjustments, because that's going to be critical. So let's take a break here on the Tuttle Coaches Show. We'll be back here in just a couple minutes.
Does shelter insurance cover shiny red cars?
Yeah.
What about purple vans?
Also, yes.
Monster trucks?
What's going on, son?
From shiny red cars to purple minivans, you can count on Shelter's local agents to help you protect what matters most.
The First National Bank and Trust Company presents to you the Tuttle Team Spirit Card. We proudly serve more than 20 area schools and have donated more than $82,000 in 2023. So, what are you waiting for? Support your Tuttle Tigers and make every transaction count. Come by the bank to get your Team Spirit Card today at no cost to you. The First National Bank and Trust Company. Member FDIC.
Hungry for a meal that tastes like home? Jamie Joe's on Main Street has you covered. This family-owned favorite serves up real home-cooked comfort food every day. And the burgers? Juicy, stacked high, and so good. Bring it on home to Jamie Joe's, where good food and good company always come first, and where the burgers make tacos jealous.
Contemporary Family Dentistry Newcastle has been serving the Tri-City community since 2008 and is excited to announce the opening of our second location in Blanchard. Don't have dental insurance? That's not a problem at Contemporary Family Dentistry. We have a $250 annual membership that covers cleanings and exams, eliminating the feeling that you can't go to the dentist. For more information, visit our website at www.cfdok.com.
As a mama, you're constantly pulled in every direction. HotWorks is where you get to hit pause. Sweat out the stresses you recenter in just 30 minutes. You deserve this.
Williams Foods, more than a grocery store. At Williams Foods, we pride ourselves on our meats, and we have the best, the freshest, the most tender meat money can buy. There is no better meat in the world. Williams Foods cuts it fresh every day, just the way you like it. Don't be fooled by big box stores that don't cut their meat on site. We do meat right and better than anyone. Williams Foods, where we still sack and carry out your groceries for you because you deserve it. Williams Foods, your fresh meat, fresh produce, and much more store since 1971.
When it comes to keeping Tuttle comfortable, local matters.
That's why families trust Koch's Mechanical Heat and Air, your hometown heating and cooling expert.
Owned and operated right here in Tuttle by Bo Kokenauer and his family, Koch's Mechanical knows what our Oklahoma weather can dish out.
And they're here to keep your home just right all year long.
They're not just serving the community, they're part of it.
Koch's Mechanical is proud to be the official heat and air sponsor of Tiger TV.
Koch's Mechanical Heat and Air, where local matters and your comfort comes first.
Over the years, a lot has changed. Thankfully, in Tuttle, a few things have stayed the same. The people here are still the best, the school's teams are always competitive, and Williams Plumbing Service is still serving the community. For all your plumbing needs, call Williams Plumbing Service. One family serving Tuttle since 1949. Thank you, Tuttle, and go Tigers.
All right, we are back on Tiger TV, Tuttle Coaches Show. Beautiful Sunday afternoon. You can see the sun shining out over our shoulders right here. Great day to just relax, have a good time, but an awesome time to reminisce a little bit about the football game this past weekend. We had a great one. We've been chit-chatting a lot about the defense, so let's shift gears, talk a little offense, look at some replays. Eli, what you said, 400 and
a little over 403 yards total offense, 222 through the air. You can do I'll let you do the math on the rest. It'll be 181 yards on the ground. So good night overall for both. And the thing I thought that was really, really good was, again, Newcastle comes out, they take the ball, they want to score quick, and the opposite happens. You get a 3 and out quick, and then the offense drives down and scores. And does the same thing on their first 3 drives. So sort of before things the dust can settle, you're up 21-0 and basically right where you want to be.
There's no doubt about that, and that's been a big deal for us the last 2 weeks. Getting up on someone early and try to take them out of their game plan. So you get down by 2 scores, you have to do something. You can't hold your cards anymore. Right. So I mean, when they took the ball, when they won the toss and took the ball, you could hear the excitement in our defensive kids. They were like, oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, challenge accepted.
Yeah, for sure. And I love that about our guys. So, offense did a great job. There's so many things I could brag on them about. I thought one of the biggest things that's happened to us in the last 2 weeks was when Newcastle scored in the third and make it 21-7. We took the ball and just marched it.
Yeah,
and I think they really imposed their will and their stamp on that game the other night, especially the offensive line.
Yeah, offensive lines played great, and something kind of happened this week is you had some new faces on the offensive line, which typically brings with it some issues. Mm-hmm. I thought a couple of things was you have Kel Harriman who moves over, so sort of on the right side of that line, you've got Wyatt Hill at center, Kel Harriman, and then you've got Schneeberger out there. And that right side was massive.
Yes.
First of all, you love to see that kind of beef on the, Hardesty Beef was one of our sponsors, and it's like, hey, there's the beef right there on the right side of the offensive line. And so but I thought Kel played really well. And then Eli Clark over there at left tackle goes out at one point, which he's been sort of dealing with a little bang up issue, which happens in this sport, especially those linemen. They're constantly getting chopped and hit and from every angle. But Camden Boswell comes in, freshman, and you didn't really notice it, which is what you want from a freshman lineman. You don't want to notice that he's in the game.
He's a fun kid. He got a smile from ear to ear. Just he likes to compete, and you're always nervous putting a freshman on the field, especially against the number 6 team in 5A. I mean, you're like, okay, buddy, here we go.
Right.
Fire's there, go put it out. And, Clark had a cleanup knee surgery in the summer, and he's still trying to get well from that. And he's got a lot of guts too going out. He did not want to miss the game against Newcastle, and he played through. He was getting a little stiff, so Boss went in and Boss flourished. I mean, Boss found a home, and Gavin Hines is playing left guard over there. He's a returner from last year, so like we talked about last week, I think there's depth up there. I think there's guys that are intelligent enough to play multiple positions and willing to put in the work, and they've all played their role really well so far. So I thought Grizz, Harriman being in there was a big deal. I think that's probably his bread and butter. He's such a hard person to move at nose guard, but man, he did a great job guard the other night, and he'll only get better.
Yeah, let's go ahead and roll some of those replays right now. We got a slew of offensive replays here on the night, pretty much starting first quarter action.
Get down there and go kind of a jumbo package and hit Comesher on the play action. That pass there, here we get a little bit of one back stuff, and this is the beginning of a big night for Donnie Schluter. Donnie had a little coming out party the other night, but right here is the key. Us being able to run the ball effectively, and go from 3-yard gains to a 6 or 8 yard gain here, and the offensive line clearing the path there, and then the fullback doing a nice job of cleaning up the hole, and a little bit of power here and there for these guys. And Sean's very patient. I thought Sean had a really nice night the other night, and taking what was there. And then also Carter Van Auken came in and did a nice job as well. And here's the first touchdown to Donnie. Of course, Donnie was I had to get on Donnie there. He did a little dance, and I said, "Hey, man, you got to act like you've been there before." And he said, "Well, really, I haven't." That was my first big one in the varsity. I said, "All right, it's over. Now you have."
Now you have excuses.
Anyway, Clears just does a good job of taking what's there, and Donnie makes a heck of a catch right there, a little back shoulder on a broken play, off schedule throw, and come back, run the ball again, go get you about 6 or 8, break a tackle, get close to 10. I mean, that's breaking people's heart when you can do that over and over. And again, Sean just real patient. I think the O-line's doing well, and number 40 Wick at fullback's doing an excellent job. And then again, we were talking about it on the other side of the ball. When space presents itself, you've got to take it, and I think that's what our offense does well. And this was a huge play, 3rd and long, and hitting that's a great throw up the seam there. And TK had run a great route to get there. So that was a heck of a catch as well. He got hit from both sides right there and hung on. And here we get back in the jumbo looking set and run the power over there and get Sean into the end zone on both feet. It's beautiful. And those are things we continue to get better at. And that is a big time catch, big time throw. Cruz put that where only Donnie could lay down and get it, and he did. And then again, just finding space, executing, moving the chains. That's what we're doing. You can watch that little highlight package and see we've tried to threaten the field in every way, shape, and form. I mean, run the ball between the tackles, throw the hitch to number 2, throw the hitch to number 1, throw the down to 1, throw the big play to number 1. I mean, we've got to attack every blade of grass out there. I mean, you got to go attack it. And I thought that's what our offense, that's what we're built for, and we have the quarterback to do that.
Yeah, let's go ahead and look at that. Can you pull that one up? No, let's go ahead and go to the one, the package B, I think it is. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and look at that because you mentioned that was a big time throw. So let's run through this this play right here. You're going to see here in just a second. You ready?
Yeah, so this is the touchdown to Donnie Schluter. He's on the high side up there on the far side of the formation. got an in-breaking route and finds that gap. And Cruz knows there's gap coming between those two defenders. So he knows
here.
There's really four people closing. There's one small window, and he gets it in there, and Donnie knows it's coming. And
one more time,
Cruz puts it low where Donnie doesn't get his head taken off, and Donnie slid in there and made the play. That's a really nice play from a young kid after an exceptional throw. There's not a lot of people that we play that can make that throw.
Right. No, there's a lot of high school quarterbacks that are going to see that as covered.
Right.
They're not even going to look to throw that ball. They're going to make that read. And they're going to say, nope, that's covered, and move to their next read.
Move to Campbell.
So Cruz knows, and I mean, listen, us having to play against Cruz and practice every day makes us better too. He's really good, you guys, and I've said it over and over till I'm blue in the face. I mean, I don't know if I'd trade for anybody. You know what I mean? I love him. I love the way he handles himself, the way he handles his business. I could spend this whole show talking about things that he does well. I mean, he's that kind of player.
No, and you saw it last year, really, some glimpses of just how smart he is from a football perspective, too. Of last year, there were times he got rid of the ball that I don't think there's other quarterbacks would have never done that. And so he does a great job protecting the ball, even getting rid of it at times. But that play right there is another one that's just a high IQ play, knowing there is a window. He's got the arm talent to get it there. And leading his receiver sort of to the right position, but also that young receiver. You got a sophomore receiver that doesn't try and make a half bent over catch it as he slides into it, makes a great catch, protects the ball, and hangs on in the midst of about to get hammered in the end zone.
It was a big play and well executed from Cruz. He knew it was going to go there, and he let it go early. And Donnie had the wherewithal to go down and get it. So.
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these throws again. Just kind of talk a little bit from Cruz's perspective here.
Their Cruz just taking what's given. I mean, he's got plenty of choices all over the field. Very rarely do we call the pass to one person. If we're throwing the ball, he gets to make those decisions out there. There's sometimes we might give him a one-person route, but like right here, these are things that you don't coach. These are off-schedule throws. The presence in the pocket to know it's collapsing and get out, eyes down the field, make a play, and then Donnie finding some grass for him to sit in. It was great. And here again, he's being patient. He's not being greedy. I think a lot of young quarterbacks, if you give them too much independence, they're going to chunk it every time. And Cruz understands we need to move the chains. We need to win games. I don't think he's greedy at all. I think he puts the ball where it's supposed to go. And there's an art to that. I don't think you're going to find many high school quarterbacks that understand what's going on as well as Cruz does. And Cruz does everything that he can to improve. I mean, he leaves no stone. I'm telling you, he leaves no stone unturned. And he is in a constant pursuit to be better. Always, and that's why he's a great player.
And one of the biggest leaps I think he's taken this year, you saw it on that scramble, is the speed and the body control to get out of the pocket, create some space this year. I think his scramble ability, and we saw a tough run. I don't think it was in the highlight package there, but I'm sure the coaches were cringing upstairs when he lowers his shoulder about the 4-yard line.
I like seeing slide, but or get out. But no, he takes great pride in that, and it was a point of emphasis for him to improve his speed and his agility and, just the constant movement drills and work on his speed, his start, his heel lift, everything. I mean, everything. He did it every day. He doesn't miss. And do what we give him and then try to do more. I mean, that's him.
No, and you see it really paying off. And I think, his ability to pick the right route to throw is a huge bonus with him, the ability to really, with his arm strength, stretch the field from sideline to sideline. Those are long throws that he's making out there, and to get them out quick and to get them there on target is huge, because then you really can, as you mentioned earlier, you really can stretch that defense to every blade of grass. They can't give an inch out there.
And he sees it if they do. That's the beauty of it. He's done it now, and there's definitely some independence within our offense. I mean, a lot of times we'll call the run play and a pass play, and he decides. And we wouldn't do that with a lot of people. If you give quarterbacks choice to run or throw it, I'm afraid I might have thrown it everybody.
Right.
He's very trustworthy with that, and he educates himself to the game. He understands what we would like for him to do, and he does it. He does it without hesitation. And I just don't think you'll find many people like that. He is not an I guy. He's a we guy.
Yeah.
And his team and how his team does is important to him.
Yeah, and that's something that we're starting to pick up. We do post-game interviews after the game, and we talk to these kids after the game, and you're starting to hear a lot of, for those English teachers out there, you're hearing a lot of plural pronouns that they're throwing out there, which is an exciting thing to hear when it's not a lot of me's and I's. When you're starting to hear we's and us's come out of their mouths on a consistent and not a forced. A lot of these kids, I'm gonna be honest, they're not comfortable in front of the camera. That's not something y'all aren't sitting them down doing training with that kind of stuff. And so to hear that sort of naturally come out is very encouraging.
It's exciting for a coach. I mean, because, that's the tone we try to speak in as a staff and as a program. Hey, it's not me, it's we, we can only go as far. You can only do what the other 10 guys on the field allow you to do.
Yeah.
And it's nice that they hear that. But I think I'm just telling you, a lot of it has to do also with how they're raised. They're raised in homes where it's not about you. I mean, this is our home, right? This is your family. This is what we're going to do. And I mean, we can help that here, but that's a team effort, all around. And anything we can do to pitch in and partner with parents and parents help, that helps us a ton too. So I just think it's exciting. I think this team's got talent, and where they decide to take that as a team, it's on them. I mean, you can lead them to water, and we all know what we have to do to win games and such, but if they're not willing to do it, that doesn't matter. These kids are willing to work and take care of each other.
Yep, that's a good point, and another good opportunity to take another quick break right here. We're going to go ahead and take another quick break here on Tiger TV, and then when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more, look a little bit more into the future, and go from there. So we'll be back on Tiger TV here in just a minute.
High-speed fiber internet is now available from Tuttle Broadband. Get faster speeds, up to 1 gigabyte in the most modern service available. Stream your favorite shows and get connected with no service contract and competitive pricing. Tuttle Broadband. Schedule your installation today. High-speed fiber internet for a more connected Tuttle.
Life is complex enough. With decades of experience, Cornerstone Insurance Group makes insurance simple. We can help with coverage for your home, farm, or ranch, coverage for all the drivers, cars, and equipment in and around your house, coverage for your business, large or small, life insurance to give you peace of mind. Call or stop by today, and one of our experienced, licensed agents will shop dozens of insurance companies for you, saving you time and money. Call our office or visit us online at oklahomainsured.com.
Whether you just came from a workout or you're just out and about, our Social Sips have everything you need to feel good to feel good. Here at Social, we have a variety of teas, shakes, social bowls, or you can even try one of our cold brew coffees, made with you in mind. At Mustang Social and Hometown Social, it's always tea time.
At Tactical Pest Solutions, we prevent pests from taking over. Our defense will give you peace of mind, keeping your home or business safe from pesky bugs or creepy crawlers. Our tactical approach proactively treats your spaces before high-traffic pest season. Make an appointment today, even if you haven't seen indications of bugs or pests, so we can play defense for your home team. Give us a call and let's keep your home or business free of what's bugging you. Tactical Pest Solutions. We can beat the bugs to the punch.
There's a few things we live by in Oklahoma: honesty, integrity, and hard work. At Triton Foundation Repair, if you don't need foundation repair work, we will be the company that tells you, because when you do need it, we want to be the company that doesn't. Honesty, integrity, and hard work. Triton Foundation Repair.
How long's it been since you had pizza? I mean good pizza. Piping hot, cheesy pizza that'll make your mouth water. At the pizza shop, we make old school pizza at old school prices. The Pizza Shop, 410 East Main, Tuttle.
At Marshall Auto Supply, our Napa certified parts professionals are here to help.
We stock a wide variety of parts and accessories for all makes and models. Marshall Auto Supply. Stop by or call us today. Located in Chickasha or on Main Street in Tuttle.
All right, we are back on Tiger TV. Beautiful Sunday afternoon. It's been a great conversation thus far. And as we were kind of closing, going into this next break right here, I kind of want to let's spring off of that, or slingshot, whatever you want to call it, when I move off of that, kind of the way you were talking there at the end. Here we are. It's week 1, actually. We're going into the second week, fixing to have our third game. We're 2-0, and we're 2-0 against 2 5A opponents, both deep runs in the playoff. One of the runner-up in Guthrie, and 2 Newcastle being a semifinalist. So, they're ranked number 6. I believe you said, one of y'all said a while ago, they ranked number 6, but, they ended last year in the top 4. And so you're talking about 2 really good programs. And then we come out and play really well, and we look good. I mean, I know as coach, you always can find your things, but to the average person, people are like, whoa. Like, wow. I mean, I've heard people talk around town, a couple of my friends, and, you go into the grocery store or somewhere, and, just by the nature of what we do, and people know I work for the school and on Tiger TV and stuff, they'll say things, and it's like, I don't have, I can't really speak on behalf of the team. So my question is, and where I'm leading with this is, how do you keep this train rolling in a positive direction and not let the hype take over?
Well, I mean, at Tuttle, the expectation is to be good every year, and we've been fortunate to win a lot of games every year. So we try to focus on our process. That's as simple as I can make it. We believe in what we do on Sunday, what we do on Monday, how we do it on Tuesday, our preparation on Wednesday, Thursday, get us to Friday. That's where our focus has to be. You hear a lot of business people talk about, we don't want to be a result-based business. We want to be a process-oriented company and make sure our processes are right. Well, as a high school program, that's all we can do, is be about process. There's going to be years you have really good players, and some years you might not have as good of players, but if your process is right and you're consistently doing those things, you're always going to be able to compete. So we feel like we're always trying to improve our process and maintain that standard. So when we do have the kids and the right athletes, those things all fit together. So the simplest form of that is we try to block out the noise. We don't talk a lot about anything. Like, you're not going to see me on social media doing a whole bunch of stuff. That's not our jam. Our jam is to try to be great Tuttle Tigers and be physical and fast, and make sure we're prepared on Friday so we can play fast. That may be some old school in me, but I think that our kids, if you talk to them, they'll tell you that too. Like, I thought there was a couple times last year we didn't have a very good game. Well, we didn't practice well. Over at Bethany last year, we didn't play real well. We got out there with the win early in the season, and it was a great lesson for our team. We didn't practice well. Our Tuesday was horrible, and they knew that. But like these last 2 weeks, even the week of the Guthrie game, it's pouring rain on a Tuesday. We go out there and we don't drop a single ball in 7-on-7. I mean, and I'm sitting there going, okay, they're ready. I mean, we're locked in. They show us during the week where their mind's at and where their head's at, and sometimes it's really unnerving as their coach to say, okay, it's Friday. Let's put our livelihood in the hands of 15 to 18-year-olds. That's not exciting at times, but this group works really hard throughout the week and in their process to get better. I mean, last week we had a couple guys cramp. I don't like that, and I'm looking at them like, okay, here's where this goes. Either I'm going to run your butts in the ground every day, or you can start drinking more water throughout the week. One of the two. What are we going to do? Like, we've done what we have to do. Are you doing what you're supposed to do? And this is a good group, and they will respond to that. And listen, any process requires a numerous amount of people pushing and pulling in the same direction. And I have that. We have that. Our coaching staff, I love them. They are battlers, warriors, whatever it takes. We have a great mix of personalities and people, and they can communicate, they relate, they also discipline. I mean, it's a great mix, and anybody who's any good at all has a good staff. And I promise you, that's where we're at.
Yeah, no, and I think you're starting to see that in this group as we get a little more familiar with this group, and also the sort of mentality that they're not real worried about what happened last week either. They've got a real short memory, whether good or bad, which sometimes, we're real quick to forget the bad stuff and we kind of dwell on the good stuff that happened in the past. This group, not real focused on that, and they're also not too focused on the future either. It's a delicate balance that you have to walk there of sort of being present and focused on the task at hand. And that sounds overly simple, but that's really what it is, because there's nothing you can do about the game 2 weeks from now until it's time for the game from 2 weeks from now. And so this group's staying locked in week to week. And I think you've got a group that's doing a good job of that right now. And that's what we're seeing, is you're seeing them sort of hyper focused on the task at hand. And that's going to pay dividends. If they can keep that mentality and not pull their eyes up too high and look down the road too far, or start looking in the rearview mirror, I think that'll be a really good recipe for this group to do some really cool things.
It's hard too, because as adults, like, hey guys, look how good you can be and all this stuff, and I'm fighting them every day. Hey, listen, you're teenagers. You're only going to get a few days to do this in your life. Like, we talked the other night about this little span right here is your football life.
Yep.
You better love every little second of that little span, because it'll be gone. And we would all wish that we could play it one more time. I mean, I'd love to go out there one time on that field. I mean, look, wouldn't that be fun? I don't get to do that anymore. You guys get to do that. So really, really learn to love where your feet are and what we're doing right now. And it's hard.
It's extremely hard, especially for young kids, especially you got some of these kids that are coming towards the end of it, and they're thinking about some maybe bigger things in life and different pressures. And you've got such a mix. You got all these kids, they all got different stuff going on. They've all got different pressures and privileges and all that. And so for this group, like you said, just be where you're at. Be where you're at in the moment. Give all of yourself to that moment.
Yes.
And if this group can do that, I think they've got the mix to do really, really well. It's just a matter of, hey, stay locked in on the moment. Nothing else matters. Enjoy it. And then you get to look back at some point and be like, man, that was cool. That was really cool. And those are the moments in life that I think are really, really fun, is when you were fully present during it, and then you look back and like, man, that was really cool.
I gave it my all. No regrets, right?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good way to no regrets.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe their slogan for the season was no regrets. Yeah, just go leave it out there on the field each week. That's awesome. So, so 2-0 practice this week, getting ready for the Noble Bears. We're going to take a short road trip. It's not too far over to Noble, but let's talk a little bit about the coming week's preparation. What's on the agenda without giving away your game?
We have a team meeting in about an hour from now, and we'll talk to them a little bit about the game. We'll watch some film from Friday night, and they'll get a good lift in the weight room today, and any treatment they need in the weight room. And coaches will meet before that, and then after that, and make sure we've got our game plan finalized and on the same page. And We'll have our normal Monday. We've got 7th grade, 8th grade JV games tomorrow night over at Blanchard. And then normal week here. As far as Noble is a much improved team from a year ago. I think they play a lot harder than they did a year ago. They will not lay down. They don't quit. They fight for every inch. They've got a really quarterback. I think he's probably, of the 2 quarterbacks we've seen so far, he's my favorite one I've watched of the people we're playing. They put him in some good situations. They'll get in a lot of empty sets and a lot of formation stuff, a little motion, give him a run pass option sometimes. So a few different layers than what we've faced so far. Special teams, they have a good kicker. Defensively speaking, they try not to give up the big play. So, you're going to have to go earn a victory. A lot of things, like Bob Stoops said, there's a lot of things that can't go wrong for you to go win. So we got to do our part, and another 5A opponent. I mean, 3rd one in a row, and we need to go take care of business and be in the moment, worry about us, and see if we can get better this week.
Yeah, it's strategic taking on. I mean, Newcastle, obviously a rivalry. We're probably going to play them almost no matter what. I hope that never goes away, unlike, OU and OSU, but hope that something like that would never go away. But, kind of rivalry, what was getting over the hump and moving forward into a team that's improved. So we'll see how this goes.
They're playing much better than they did a year ago, and they had some weapons a year ago too, but they're just another year older, and they've got some big kids up front, so it'll be a challenge.
Yeah. No, and playing the 5A schools, they're naturally going to have that depth. That's something, small school football, a lot of times you just don't have the bodies. Once you start getting into those bigger classes, the upper end of 4A, 5A, 6A, that's the biggest difference, is they've got more bodies typically. And so that comes into play. And a lot of times you'll find guys to make plays there. Noble has always sort of had what I would say is the base pieces there. They've just never sort of got them all clicking at the same time when we've played them. And so they can make life tough for you. You can't go over there and let up an ounce on them, because they're good enough to give you fits. And so that's going to be the thing is stay locked in, stay focused, and go play Tuttle Tiger football over there.
Yeah, that's right. Stay locked in, stay focused, and go over there and play Tuttle Tiger football. That's exactly right. So any final thoughts, any words of wisdom?
Man, again, it's great to see a victory over Newcastle like that. You love to see the 35-7. Love to see the adjustments that were made throughout the game, and just really, really love what we're seeing from this team thus far in terms of resolve. The ability to keep the intensity up throughout the game is really, really fun. Makes it really fun to watch. I get to call the games and get to analyze them, but I'm a fan first, and this is the kind of football that I love to watch. You got guys from the time the first second ticks off the clock to the last one ticks off the clock. They're playing hard, and that's what I love to see from football teams. And so that gets me excited.
Me too. I love it too. I've been proud of them. Got a lot of little things to clean, but their efforts there, and they're being physical, and man, those are 2 good things to have.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah,
I appreciate everybody coming out the other night. It was a great crowd. I heard from a lot of old Tuttle Tigers, and everybody likes to beat Newcastle, of course. Yeah. And one of my best friends is August Dietz' son, David, was one of my best friends. So he's an old racer.
Oh yeah,
we love him, but he's a racer. So anyway, It's been a fun week, but we've moved on to the next one now, and got things going to come in today, and we'll clean it all up and improve.
Yep, absolutely. You got Noble this week, an off week to follow that. Then you get into district play when it sort of starts to matter from a playoff perspective there. So again, you sort of just keep ratcheting that up week to week and see how they respond. And I'm excited to see how this group responds.
Me too.
Yep, I think they'll respond quite well. So, I think that's it for today. So Appreciate you guys joining us on the Tuttle Coaches Show. We'll do this every Sunday afternoon as long as the weather's good, and I guess it'll be good and fine in here. But we'll do this. We appreciate you joining us, and we'll see you on the road at Noble. Come out and watch the Tigers play. If not, we'll be here on Tiger TV. Pregame show starts at 6:30, so we'll see you there.